Hello everyone, welcome back to another Battle for Azeroth Alpha video. In this video, we'll be going over the newest models data mined from the alpha. So let's jump right into it. Okay, let's start this off with a bang. The Dark Iron Dwarf racial mount. The Dark Iron Corehound. This thing is so cool. Before now, every Corehound we've seen has had two heads. So it's a little unique in that regard that it's only got one. And it's also a little stubby and short, which is adorable. This is, if you ask me, reason enough to have a Dark Iron Dwarf alone. Like, not gonna play one, just get it for the mount. And speaking of mounts, we have the Dark Iron Dwarf Paladin mount. Well, I guess Dwarf Paladin mount in general. It's not something I'd even considered they would do, but it does seem that the normal dwarf, the one we can currently make, is getting its own paladin variant. The silver and yellow seems to be, I'm guessing, for the current dwarves, and the darker color for the Dark Iron dwarves. Both look very nice. I'm hoping I'm right, because it would give the current dwarves something to stand out, since they share the same horse mount with the humans. Alright, so let's jump into the many new NPC models. Starting off with this guy. My first thought was it's King Rastakhan, but we have seen his model here. So I don't know who this is, but it feels very similar looking to me. If I'm not mistaken, this may be our very first overweight troll model as well, so he's pretty unique in that regard. After this guy, we've got a walking bloody tumor. I'll be honest, I have absolutely no idea what this creature is, but my god is it creepy. It's like a tumor with teeth. Pure nightmare fuel. I'm imagining it's something that'll be summoned by the blood trolls, but I can't be sure for now, so let's move on. The next model is really nice. Like everything else, it doesn't seem to have a name yet, but my guess is that it's a female variation of the Titan Keeper from Nazmir, which is already a neat model. Like I said, just kind of a guess, but I feel like it's probably likely. It's definitely Titan in some capacity. Overall, a pretty great model. Alright, next up is one of my favorites on this list. It's a water elemental, but with a void minion theme. It's like Neptulon merged with a faceless one. The new look to the tentacles and eyes to the faceless one really meshes well with that elemental look. Other than that, I have no idea what this thing is. Maybe a minion of Ashara? Unsure, but definitely want to know more. Next up is the simple one-handed axe from the Zandalar side of leveling. Not much more to say other than that. It looks neat, but, that's enough. Okay, after that is this faceless one themed stone or statue. I really like that it's based on the face and the head, featuring the four eyes and the tentacles, along with that lovely shade of purple the void seems to use. I have no idea what it'll be used for, but I'm definitely curious and want to know more. Up next we have the mailboxes for each faction. Starting with the Zandalari side. I have to say, for something as simple as a mailbox, it is pretty neat. I like the idea of having the mail in that little canister hanging there. It's so minor, but neat nonetheless. The Kultiran mailbox is cool as well, just not as inspired, perhaps. Overall, I like it, but nothing catches my eye. It's a mailbox. I mean, what more can I really say? The next image is one of the more interesting looking models. There's something that really catches my eye about this for some reason. It's very simple in that it's just a stone again, but it seems like such a crisp and clean model. It just works for me. Loving the tentacles coming up from the base and wrapping around it, and again that lovely, lovely purple shade of the stone in the middle. I wonder, is that supposed to be a representation of N'Zoth maybe? I don't know, but it looks nice. The next three images seem to be weapons, so nothing much to say unfortunately. The first is clearly a polearm, which does look nice, but definitely seems like a leveling weapon just based on the plain appearance. The sword has a bit more going on though. I do like what I'm seeing with it. It's hard to tell if it's one or two-handed honestly. I'm assuming 2, but regardless, it does look cool. That design going up the middle really makes it stand out. The last one, I'm not sure what it is. My gut wants to say it's a shield, but I feel like the spears behind it are a little too large for it to fit that, that whole idea of it being on your arm. Maybe it's a wall decoration or a doodad, maybe. But I kind of have my fingers crossed it's a shield. If it is, it would look very nice. Okay, this last set of images are pure nightmare fuel. Before I go into it, I've always felt that a lot of the undead models don't look undead enough. Like, why would humans die and come back as ghouls? They don't even really look like dead people. These, however, are crazy looking. The coloration alone makes them look like they've been dead for quite a while, and the mismatched limbs make it all the more horrifying. They seem to be human bodies with troll parts sewed on, and the stitching going up the chest really kind of completes that look. Now, I've intentionally ignored the worst part, the heads. They have pig heads, and some sort of murder crow heads. That really puts them high up on the screwed up ladder, if you ask me. Not to mention there are some variants that have sickle hands to chop up their enemies. I have to say, great job here at Blizzard. I do wish that this is what more undead were like back in Wrath of the Lich King. It really would have been more horrifying than it was. So, that wraps up the newest set of models that have been released onto the web from the Battle of Azeroth Alpha. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video, and if you like what you've seen here and want to see more, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. It helps a lot more than you know. And I'll see you next time.